This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
For me, art is an agent of change.
Anything that highlights life.
They know it's an art form when it has a story, when it speaks to them.
Art is an expression of the soul. Pinapakita nito kung anong kaya ng tao.
The product of the reaction to something you love.
And passion.
And anything in between.
It's the highest form of language.
So it's gotta be honest.
A vehicle for expressing your thoughts, your emotions.
So that when we see it, we can't keep it, we need to share it.
It's not shared by two or more people, then it's just the work of a crazy person.
For me, art is important because
It makes you think.
I like the idea of creating something out of nothing.
think of how you can improve your own life, improve the lives of others.
To have something in the world that exists that affects people.
It is what allows us to feel.
Without it, we're nothing more than robots, just rocks.
If you don't have art, you merely exist. Art draws out the humanity. So art elevates existence into something else. Does that make sense?
We are unable to inspire and to move people into action.
It's your way of sharing and giving back to the people.
Without art, I think life would be boring.
Because everyone has to have some sense of creativity in their life.
It's not beautiful without art.
If you have a point of view,
You are an artist.
An artist is someone who sees things that no one else sees.
with the mindset of moving the society forward.
Anyone can be an artist as long as you are honest.
Courageous. Art makes you just that much more sensitive to things around you.
To allow growth in our lives.
A reflection of the beliefs and the desires.
It pushes me to improve every day.
It makes me appreciate all the little things.
Iba yung tingin mo sa mundo eh. Art is everything.
Hindi ako mabubuhay kung walang arte.
I'm an actor and director.
Actress.
I'm an actor, singer, actor.
It's an actress and a singer.
Actor, playwright.
A theater actor.
An actress. An actress.
Actor?
I'm a human being.
Maarte ako.
Maarte ako.
Maarte ako.
Maarte ako. Maarte ako. Maarte ako. Maarte ka.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Village. I'm Buddy Kunanan. You know, folks, tonight's show is all about arts. Maarte kami dito. And very special show tonight because this month is National Arts Month. And there are so many art-inspired activities happening all around the country. From the day-long Pasinaya in the Cultural Center of Philippines to the 3-week-long Fringe Manila in different exhibition halls and performance venues all around Metro Manila. Now, this month is also very special because for the first time ever, Manila will be having its Bienalle, which is an art festival geared towards the promotion of the heritage of Intramuros, our walled city, and the history of Manila. And joining us to kick off our National Arts Month program entitled Arts and Manila Bienalle is the Managing Director of Art Plus Magazine, and she is the Marketing Director of Art Plus Magazine, Dagny Ayay. Dagny, welcome to Global Village.
Thank you for having me.
And you know, so it's so such a pleasure to have you here because you know, on Global Village we talk about you know, travel, culture. We talk about topics that impact the global community. But arts definitely is one of our main advocacies here because we feel that arts really is a way to join people together, to unite people. It's something that is a healing medium. It's beautiful. And I understand we had a nice video showing people just espousing the arts. And I understand your magazine. Before we start, let's show them a nice ad.
Yes,
that
there's
you,
an
that you
ad
have.
here of Art Stage, which is an art fair in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
The earth without art is just eh.
So meaningless.
Yes, it's from Bansky.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's talk about you first, Dagny. Let's introduce you to the audience. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Dagny Ayay?
Well, I'm the marketing director for Art Plus, and marketing is about sales and building the brand and making the brand known, building partnerships with people and products and brands that make Art Plus introduced to a wider audience.
How long have you been involved in the art scene, Dagny?
Oh, the art scene. Oh, my whole life, I imagine. Yeah, I can say. But Art Plus, the magazine, for the past 4 years. Let me talk about Art Plus. It's
Please, yes.
been around for 10 years.
Okay.
It started in 2008. It's a bi-monthly, meaning we produce an issue every 2 months. And that's a big feat, you know, in the age of print and
Absolutely.
being what were you saying earlier?
Like
it's
a sunset industry,
yes.
the whole print business
Yes, and
in the face of online, the
exactly.
online movement, no?
Yes, and we're printing our 54th issue that's coming out next week.
Bravo.
So, yeah, I
Bravo.
mean, that's something to be said, really.
Yeah, you know, what makes Art Plus magazine different from other art magazines?
When you say different from other art magazines, there's really no other art magazine in Manila that's been around that long. There have been some that have come and gone.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Precisely, yeah.
Yes. So I would say our longevity is one. And it's because also we talk not just of the visual arts, although that's still 50% of our, or even more of our content, but we talk about the other arts, such as the performance arts, we talk about film, we talk about theater, and we also feature travel, but the travel centers on the arts, the museums in other places. So
I'll get to that in a while, the travel aspect. But you're right. I mean, I've seen in the past, I've seen art magazines or art-inspired magazines in the Philippines, and they really only cater to the visual arts. I mean, predominantly.
Yes.
So that's a nice angle that your art magazine has taken. At least you're supporting all 7 forms. There are 7 forms,
yes,
right?
including
of
the
the
culinary arts.
Including
yes.
culinary arts,
Yes,
really.
but we're different from the other food magazines which feature like recipes and how to make yummy food available. When we talk about food, we talk about the way it's plated, we talk about gastronomy because that is an art.
Absolutely. I mean, the presentation. I mean,
Yes.
not just the way you actually prepare the food, but even the, as you said, the plating.
Yes.
It's really a visual feast, literally.
That's the idea of Art Plus, to provide beautiful things. And you know, our tagline is bringing the best of Philippine art to the world. Art Plus, to help make us sustainable here in the Philippines, we
Yes.
bring it. And we partner with art fairs abroad. I was talking about partnerships we have.
Yes.
We partner with art fairs abroad, and we're talking about, as of 2017, 30 different art fairs from North America to Europe. We're strong in Asia. We bring the magazine there, and we talk about what's going on in the art scene here in the Philippines. And not just Manila. We're partners with Viva XCon, which is a art fair in Bienalle, also in Cebu.
Okay.
Well, it started in Cebu, if I'm not mistaken, but it moves around different Visayan cities.
Yeah.
So,
when you say you partner with these art festivals, well, what goes on? So you bring your magazine there. I mean, how do you actually push Philippine art at these fairs?
Well, the magazine is brought there, and when people buy art, they still read print. That's a very niche market.
Yeah.
So they go there, pick up a catalog, they pick up our magazine, they read about the art scene in Manila, and they're like, hey, maybe I'd want to check out Manila. And
Interesting that you mentioned that. The art scene, people still value print, no?
Yes.
I mean, in other areas, really print is taking a big beating from online, no? But really, that's interesting to know that the people who are art aficionados, for instance, they really prefer to, when looking at art, the hard copy.
well, I can't say they prefer, but yes, they still do. Yeah, it may
Yes.
be equally. But we've also diversified, so to speak. We have a website, and we're on social media.
Yeah.
And because that way there's still these young people who really can't be bothered,
Okay.
I guess. And so we have a website that has its own content, but there's some shared content also that has a farther reach, but it's really different. I mean, people who go to these art fairs still want something tangible.
Yes, yes.
Something to breeze through and look through.
Yeah. Let's talk about content. Congratulations, 54 magazines. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
quite an achievement. And the reason I say this because I used to be in the printing game myself, and just to find content to fill up a magazine, is it difficult? Because this is kind of like a niche market, no? I mean, it's not. I mean, the art scene is not too widespread. I mean, is it a challenge to find content to fill your magazine?
Well, a challenge. There's really a lot of things happening all around, as you will see. Especially this month, it's a National Arts Month,
Yes.
but all throughout the year, there's always something in art that's going on. And you know, while maybe some art magazines focus on critiquing these art events and art happenings, we just focus on chronicling it. And you know, it's straight reportage. So what's happening, we talk about it. And there's really a lot. There's a lot of galleries. There's a lot of galleries with openings.
Sure,
and
sure.
you know, there's theater. A lot of people don't hear about it because they watch you know, network TV, and it's all about the big advertisers. But you know, if you read Art Plus, if you go out to the artplus.ph, you will find out there's a lot going on.
Let's talk about your target market. You know, because an art magazine, it's really a niche market, right? It's a niche market. Not everyone's into it. Not everyone, sadly, is interested in art. But how big is the market for this kind of magazine here in the Philippines? And are you reaching out to non-traditional markets?
Well, the people who buy art are people who like the good life, right? Who can buy art, or aspirationally.
It's a luxury.
Yes.
It's a luxury.
Yes. So it's about that niche. We're not about reading, you know, being read by like 30,000 people. Although yes, that's our circulation, because you know, when one person at home brings the magazine, everybody can read about art. Our content is reachable.
But my question is, how are you reaching out to those who are probably not, you know, I mean, the non-traditional art crowd people? I mean, like, you know, people who wouldn't necessarily be interested in art magazine. Are you guys reaching out to them in a way?
Well, you know, it's we're learning as we go along that we do have to tap the other markets. In fact, Art Plus started out being called the Contemporary Art Magazine. It was focused on just the contemporary art scene. You can imagine how limited that was, because even visual arts go beyond what is contemporary.
Yes.
There's the modern period and all that technical stuff, you know. So after having Contemporary Art Magazine, we branched off to talk about the wider art scene, and now we included the theater, because people who like visual arts don't necessarily like theater, and they have to
I mean,
around. So
people are have their preferences, absolutely.
yeah, so and people who and that's we tap these other markets, and recently we did a golf tournament. Okay, so people who play golf, they don't necessarily know about art, but they could, or their wives could. So
I guess it's a matter of just you know, I like that word tapping. I mean, tapping into that, maybe that subconscious that maybe you're never really exposed to it, so you don't really appreciate it that much. But when you tap that part of the subconscious that likes the arts, then maybe, you know, something good will come out of it.
Yes,
no?
and that's why if you just take our magazine home, maybe not for yourself, you know, someone else at home will find something in Art Plus that
and
will
I understand you guys are also running art tours, which I think is a great way to you know, expand your market. No, I mean, combining travel with art. You know?
Yes, because like I was saying, we partner with these art fairs, so you know, we promote them here, and by doing that, we people here say, oh, we would like to go. Like the next one coming up is Art Vancouver in April, and we're organizing a group to go, and they spend a few days going to the art fair. But aside from that, people who like art fairs, like I mentioned, the finer things. So there's a side trip to a winery.
Nice.
Yes, it's supposed to be the biggest winery in British Columbia, and
nice.
where Vancouver is. And the significant thing about this particular winery is that they do frozen wines, because like during winters, I don't know about wines, but from what I've heard is that you harvest wines at a certain time, but in this place they harvest frozen grapes, okay? And because the grapes are frozen, the sugars taste different, so it just comes out different.
And I think that's a great angle, because, you know, I mean, as you mentioned, art is really a lifestyle thing. It's a luxury, and if you can put, you know, the better things of life, the good things in life together, art and, as you said, wine, cuisine, all that, and travel, I think you've got a winning product right there.
Oh, I'd like to think so.
Very good, very good. Bravo, and congratulations on your 54 magazine.
Yes, this is our 53rd, because the 54th is not out
Yeah,
yet.
and in a while, we're going to be featuring Henri Lamy, who's on the cover, and he's going to be joining you for a second segment. All right, cool. So guys, stick around, because more of the arts and Manila Biennale when Global Village returns.